welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ajibike Kukola. I don't know why I always like to clap. Okay, my name is Ajibike Kukola. If you are new here, I want to say a very big welcome to you. I'm super excited to have you here. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always being here. You mean so much to me and I love you. Okay, so as you can see already, I have a sweet and beautiful lady here with me, a blessed woman, a superwoman, an amazing lady. So yes, with me here is Esther Abutu. She's my friend and a loving person. I mean, she's so sweet like honey. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the pressures singles go through. I mean, if you're not in a relationship, the pressures you go through, and then how you can handle it, the measures to take, and then things you can do to be fine at the end of the day. So after this short break, we'll just go straight into the video. Okay, so welcome back from that short break. Hello Esther, how are you doing?
I'm good. It feels good to be back here. Thank you so much. It's such a huge honor and I do not take it for granted.
Thank you too for coming. We love you. We love and celebrate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure you've heard people say God when many times, and this is something that is not new to anybody at all. I mean, you see some people on social media, even though they are not yet married, but then they take pictures together and then you're like, oh my god, when is my own going to come? And then a guy eventually comes to you. Because of that pressure, you go into a wrong relationship. So we are here just to talk about how you can handle yourself if you find yourself in that kind of situation. So Esther, what do you think a lady should do if she finds herself in a pressuring moment where all she just wants to do is to be with a man? What do you think she should do?
Okay. For me, it's a wrong state to be in. State where you feel pressured. I feel before you go into a relationship, you must be settled. Your mind must be settled. You must be ready. You know that you're not pressured. It's not because Mr. A is saying this, Mr. B is saying this, or your friends are getting married and you are just there. But because you know that clearly you understand yourself, I know it's the right time and you're sure of the person you want to be with. But before then, there must be a preparation.
Okay.
Because for me, I can't really say, I don't think I was ever pressured to be in a relationship. Let me be sincere with you. And because someone laid the foundation for me.
Or was it because you didn't have people around you who were in relationships and they get to talk with their partners all the time, chatting, testing,
people.
They will say, oh, I have a date, I'm going on a date, my boyfriend bought me this, my girlfriend bought me this, blah blah. Was it that you didn't have those people around you?
I had them all.
Okay.
Plenty.
So how were you able to, I mean, like, you're a lady now.
See, that's why I said that my sister actually prepared me before time. Even secondary school, when people were going into relationship, I could not phantom myself into going into one because she groomed me. She taught me a lot before I entered before I entered secondary school. I remember when I was about to enter, she told me a whole lot of things. How I must understand who I am, and there is times and season. There is time. You must understand the timing of your life. You must know that there are times when you need to grow. There's time when you need to understand yourself. She was telling me that just one thing. He said, you don't know yourself yet. You don't know who you are. Because there are stages in life. When you get to a stage in life, you get to another stage. When you get to the next stage, you understand that I don't even know myself. What my taste and what I want evolves with time as you grow. So the kind of person I would choose in GS1 is not who I would choose in GS2.
Exactly.
Or who I would choose in SS1.
True.
When I'm in uni.
True.
Do you get? But when the right time comes, when you understand who you are, what you want, then you can now begin to settle. So she gave me that clear understanding that you can't be in a relationship now because it will be very hard for you to pick, to decide. You must go through learning process. So she told me, Esther, you must know yourself. You must focus now because the kind of person you build is kind of man that you attract and want to settle with.
True.
But if you don't build yourself, if you don't work on yourself, any Yahoo guy or any guy can come and you settle for because you feel that, oh, I feel I'm okay for this person. Meanwhile, if you have built
and
yourself,
it looks responsible to
Yes.
you, and it's not about a guy being responsible. There's so much more to
you,
yeah,
because you understand your life, your vision, the path that God will have, career and everything. So when you understand that relationship is not an end, but it's just the beginning of something, you know that it's a journey. You can't just fall for anything. When you know that you can't waste emotions. Relationship is time. It's time taking. It takes your time, because it's not about you again. You're already in with somebody.
Yes.
So you're building.
And you need to give value to that person, and the person also gives value.
Yes. So it's beyond you just coming to say
I love you.
I love you. and the kind of relationship we're talking about is not joke. It's not friends with benefits where people are having sex on partner and doing all those rubbish. That's not the kind of relationship. We're talking about a purposeful relationship where you know that you have marriage in mind, in view.
Yeah.
So the pressure, first of all, you have to understand yourself. Know who are you. You must be clear. You must be able to know that you must know your value. So you know that you can't settle for anything. So even when the man is not coming at that point, you see that there is something in me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And I can't settle for less. You can't settle below standard. And the right person will come. You must understand God's will concerning relationship. You must understand God's will concerning marriage. When you understand that God has a perfect man for you, not perfect in code, but somebody that is right for you. Do you understand? You know that God's will stands for you. When you understand those things, it reduces that pressure. You know that with your own time you enjoy. Basically, when you know that relationship is work, you understand, okay, am I ready for this? Is it because you have to judge your intentions?
Why are you saying you want to be in a relationship?
You want to do it. It's not a joke. It's a process of learning. The process that you're getting to know someone. It's like in school.
Exactly. You can never graduate.
You can never graduate from it. So you keep
learning.
You keep learning about this person, how to make things better. You're sharing your vision, you have to think about this. It's a whole lot than the beautiful things you see on social media. Same with marriage. Because if you're going into a relationship, that means you're working towards marriage. Yeah. Basically, because people are not also pressured just for relationship. They're also pressured to get married too. You see some people that, if you're in a relationship, you're also single. Yeah. Until you're married. Yeah, exactly. So there's some people that in a relationship, they're pressured to get married.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Or maybe the pressure is coming from their parents or their friends. Because I think I have some people that are big sisters to me that I know they are not in a relationship, and here and there their friends are getting married. You see this one, a guy just proposed, yeah, my friend is getting married, and then they are there. I mean, it can actually be in that situation too. I mean, whoever is watching this, if you are watching this, you are likely to be in that situation.
Okay. So if you're in that situation, that's why I said that you must be clear and understand in your heart God's will. Do you understand? You must be clear. You must know that, okay, it's God's will that stands. And there is time. There are times and seasons. There's a time you must, okay, even if you've not found somebody, it's time to give value to yourself. It's time for you to build. It's not that, okay, you won't just stay lonely or not adding something to your life. Do you understand? Because beyond it, when a man comes, it's not coming to complete you, because you have to come as whole, one. You're not coming as half. Do you understand? So you cannot come with a lot of baggages. You need to even work on yourself. It's time for you to expand your knowledge. It's time for you to know, to see things. So if the pressure is coming, you have to talk to yourself and build, how will I say it? Build that wall that whatever they do doesn't get to you. So it's not just saying that, okay, I know God's will and everything. You must build that strategy or that wall that you know that whatever they do doesn't get. So what you're doing is that whatever you're just rejoicing with them. Rejoicing with them. And when your parents are pressuring you so much, pray about it or have a proper discussion with them, or try to avoid anything that will warrant them asking you questions, when will you get married and everything. Just know that you're not meant to force this, even for guys too. Do you understand? When she comes, it's not something that will be very difficult for you to find. It's not something that, even if you're not sure, you can seek help and clarity in place of God. I know what I'm saying, but you must have measures. So I know that things don't get you, things don't define you. Do you understand? So even if Mr. A or Mr. B is getting married, all you need to do is to rejoice with them. I know that at your own time you will enjoy it.
Enjoy your season. Enjoy the season you are in.
Doing secondary school, even doing degree, everything. I remember then there were a lot of people that were actually going into relationship, but I just knew in my heart that it wasn't time. It was not time for me. It's not that they were not guys, they were plenty. They were guys, but I just knew in my heart that it was not time for me to actually go into a relationship with them. It wasn't time for me. I knew clearly that God has a perfect plan for me, and I would not just settle for anybody. So I would take my time, and in that time I gave myself, and I'm still even giving myself to the Lord in everything I'm doing, growing, because you can't stop growing. Even if you find Mr. A, you can't say you stop growing.
You keep growing and learning, and it's a continuous thing.
Yes, continuously. And again, the reason why you find yourself pressured is the fact that you're not doing something. Then you find yourself doing something, you find yourself engaged. It will reduce that pressure to a large extent. When you see when you have a clear picture of something, when you know that something is coming, even if it gets to you, you wake it up. With joy in your heart. With joy in your heart. The scripture says, with joy we should drop on the well of salvation. So with joy you will get your husband. With joy you will get your job. With joy you will get anything. So rejoice over it. Think again. Rejoice with people. See things. When you see amazing things, imagine yourself that at my own time I will enjoy all these things. But before then, let me enjoy my life. Because when you're already single, when you're already in relationship, a lot of things you might not be able to do as a single person. There are certain dates you cannot go for. When you're single, you can go for this day with this guy, But in a relationship, you cannot be going for unnecessary dates and all.
You're committed to one person.
Yes, you cannot just sleep like that without telling the person that you want to sleep. Yes. It's mainly that somebody is sharing life with you already. Not completely. You're not living with the person. Not that kind of relation. You're living with somebody.
Exactly.
But you know that it's not about you again. You have to consider. You have to start sharing your plans. You can't just have one vision and you think it alone and everything, but you have to share to somebody.
True.
It's not. So now it's time to enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life. Enjoy, explore. Imagine when you're married now, kids will come. Your life will change totally. You can't be single forever.
It's just a matter of time.
But you'll be married forever. I've probably told you that before. You can't be single forever.
But you'll be married forever.
Forever. So what you know that will not be forever, enjoy it and last. Because when you're entering, it's forever. Because we don't believe in divorce. People divorce, but there are reasons for divorce. But that's not. We don't enter.
We don't even plan to end up with that kind of person that would okay. Let me say this thing. So this is not actually to scare you about relationship. This is not to make you feel like, oh, you have to have it all figured out before you get into a relationship. No, that's not it. But then we are just trying to make it clear to you that there are certain things you need to get done before you go into a relationship. And the fact that, okay, we just talked about divorce now, that we don't plan on ending up with a man who is likely to think of divorce or anything. Someone told me some time ago that every relationship, every godly relationship as well, has the ability to break up. I mean, if we are in a relationship and then this is God's will for your life, you are so sure that relationship still has the ability of breaking up. It just takes you to being able to intentionally walk yourselves through the process. So the fact that is the one, it does not mean like, okay,
it don't get to that point where it will shake a bit.
Exactly. So that was like a side kind of thing. So now we are talking about the pressures. So like she has said, knowing who you are. But then Esther, what age did you get to know all of these things that got you so familiar with what exactly you should know about
primary school?
Primary school.
Yes, my sister. Now I give all the credit to my sister. Then I did not like the gist.
I'm sure it was very boring. I mean,
very
the fact
boring.
that she told you not to go into a relationship, she advised you not to go into a relationship as a teenager. I mean,
I was not yet a teenager. I remember one time I'm having a discussion. She was not like, don't have a boyfriend though. All your male friends are your friends. Don't pick one particular.
How old were you?
I was in primary school. Say don't pick this person and say this person is my boyfriend. Everybody should be on the same level. And I went with that mentality. I said when guys come with gift on Valentine's, they don't collect it. She was not telling me that there's no particular guy, he brought gift, everything, and he liked me. But me, I don't want anything with him. I gave him back his gift. That's what that's when they come. If you don't like this person, no, like you don't want
you
anything.
don't have to lead them on.
Don't collect anything.
Exactly.
From them.
True.
She taught me all these things. She said you don't need it. They will distract you. They'll destroy your life. She was aggressive with her. I said, don't give room for it. Anybody that comes tell you they love you, appreciate them for loving you. But don't.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Not going into a relationship, that thing stopped. And true, secondly, relationship, I didn't even smell it in any way. Because I told her, she really built that. She was telling me I don't need it. That most likely fall. And my emotions will come in and need to do things I would not want to do. So it's not like I'm trusting myself, you can't trust yourself enough because you can also trust the other person to be able to handle something. But there's a certain age where you get to that you can handle your emotions. But you're like secondary school, you'll be able to handle your emotions.
I mean,
so basically,
and the fact that the guy you probably had a crush on in secondary school is that guy you can never picture yourself with again because things change. Okay, we've heard stories of people who started dating in secondary school and then they eventually got married. Wow, that's so sweet. That's so, I mean, like we are not saying these things are not true.
They're true.
But then, and we are not trying to say, oh, you have to be 25 before you get into a relationship. You have to be, 23 and all of that. Someone said something one day that you will see a 40-year-old person behaving like a boy, and you see an 18-year-old guy behaving like a man. So it's not even about age to this thing. So now being able to deal with the pressure, I think the basic thing is actually knowing who you are, because I have a personal experience. I had two guys at some point, and then I think okay. Let me give you the gist actually. So I had two guys in my life at some point. There was one particular guy that came and then it was not like giving me everything, it was being nice, being caring, blah 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 blah. And it's not even about that. He's not a Christian. This person is a Christian. But then I know truly that knowing who I am, it got me to it helped me to know that this person is not for me. He's a Christian, he reads the Bible, he does this, he does that. Like, I think he does everything a Christian should do. But then I knew that no. So if you know who you are truly, I think you shouldn't get so carried away with pressures.
Yes, you shouldn't get carried away. And that thing to add to what she said, yes, maturity is not by age. Let me put it that. But you must be able to understand basic things about relationship. Like I said, understanding purpose, understanding the path that God will have you go on. If you understand it, understand yourself, you know that you can handle situation, emotional intelligence, there's some basic things like that, and you have fed yourself, read about relationship, watch about relationship, all those things. When you've done those things and you're sure, because it's easy for you to be able to see clearly who you want, the person you want.
You're not confused.
You're not confused.
You just know it when, like,
you just know it.
Even in the midst of hundreds of guys, thousands of guys, you can pick your own. That this is mine, even if it doesn't look like it yet. I mean, you likely might not even have it. The guy might likely not have it all figured out at the beginning. It might not really be your spec. It might not be that tall, handsome guy that you pictured him to be. And then you have another guy who is tall, handsome, dark. I mean, he has all of the qualities. But the other person who is not even close to that, that standard you've created, knowing who you are truly would enable you to know that it's not about the tallness. So this guy looks like what I want, but this is the person. Am I correct?
Yeah, very correct.
So that's just how it is. I mean,
yeah, true. So don't allow pressure get to you, because pressure doesn't bring the best of you. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It just it's just for that moment. It's just to satisfy something for that moment. It doesn't look beyond the moment.
Yes.
So if you're under pressure, tell yourself to calm down. Because if you don't calm down, you can't make the best decision
When you're
under
pressured.
pressure.
Yeah.
That's the same way you cannot bring out the best when you're under pressure.
Yeah.
So it's either when you're not under pressure, that's why you have to prepare yourself. The person that you're going to date should meet you prepared, not completely prepared, but a lot
You don't
of
have
things.
to have it all figured
But
out.
some major
Yes.
things must be there so that you'll be able to see clearly. You understand? Not that when you go into relationship, somebody is abusing you, you're still there.
I see.
I love him. He's the love of my life. No. It's because of you've not seen who you are. You don't know yourself. That's why you can stay in an abusive relationship. In a relationship that they are treating you well.
I mean,
Talking down on you.
is
beating you. Yeah, still saying he loves you.
It keeps saying words that it's not supposed to say
say.
to you. Are you stupid? Are you mad? And you're like, he loves me, that's why he's correcting. What kind
It
of
shows
correction
that
is that?
there's something wrong with you, not with the guy.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not the guy I'll blame, it's you.
Yeah.
Because it's how you're able to accept such man into your life that's the issue. How would you settle for such person?
But how, Esther, what you just said now, that how the lady got to the point of settling for that kind of guy. I mean, what if this guy actually looks like it at the beginning? He has all of these qualities of the perfect man.
Yeah, sometimes some people
How do you think one can tell that?
Some people are really good. You know, some people don't know how to, that's why it's a relationship. If you find such, that's another point. If you find somebody doing that, maybe you didn't know when you get into a relationship with a person, that's when you should back out. Abuse, beating, condemning everything, and you're in a relationship and you say in marriage you could change or something will change him. You're not Holy Spirit, you will not change him. You can't change him, basically, before then. But if you see signs of it and you see went ahead to go into a relationship, then you put the blame on you. But there are some people that are good, they have Jesus,
it's pretense,
Yeah, they are good, and some of them is just anger. They don't know how to control their anger. But don't give excuses. If you cannot manage your anger, why are you with me? You cannot manage yourself, no. If not manage, you cannot control it. Because the other thing can get you angry. You must learn to control your anger. You must learn to control it. If you cannot, you have no business going into a relationship. Except when you're getting angry and you're breaking things. And ladies too do that too. When they're angry, they beat. There are people like that. So it's not just guys alone. So you cannot say because you're a man, you can handle her. No, when you see those traits, run. Do you understand? Because that's why she can break bottle on you, choke something on you. Don't say because you're a man you can handle her. Anger is something you cannot handle. If the person cannot handle it himself or herself, you can't handle someone's anger. The person must handle it must handle it herself or himself. Like he must handle it for himself. So by himself rather. So you can't handle it for somebody. The person must take over it.
So I think this is not to also say if your partner has a particular weakness, you should just let go. But there's just that particular point where you know that
you can.
I don't think I should deal with it. And if you think you are having issues with being able to decide, why do you have friends? I mean, your friends should be there too, and you should be able to listen. I mean, there are some red flags that are so obvious, but they are not obvious to you. That's why you have your friends in your life. There was I was in a particular group chat, and then and then they were having a conversation. I can't remember what day exactly now. And then a lady asked, "When do I know I'm ready to marry?" And then a response was given that you can as well ask your friends. I mean, that means you have good friends around you. You don't just have fake friends. I mean, your friends should be able, you're ready. But if you have doubts, your friends should be able to confirm to you that from what we know, we are very close to you. We can see this. You are ready. But you must be able to listen to. I mean, if they tell you are not ready, learn to work on those things they feel like you're not ready or and all of that.
Expose yourself to your friends. Expose. Let them know. Let them know what's going on. Don't do a secretive relationship. Let them know. Not that you go and telling them
everything that is going on in your relationship.
But major things that you're noticing and maybe it's not just clear to you. What's your opinion? That's why you should have godly friends too, because when you have godly friends too, they also help you, you know. And again, it's normal for you to feel pressured. It's a normal thing. Let's not make it look abnormal. That's when you expose yourself to your friends that this is how I feel. They're able to talk you through and help you. You know, seek counsel. You know, there are times
Rather than being jealous.
Because
It's
that's
not healthy
it's
at
not
all.
healthy. So just go and tell, you know, speak to somebody else that this is how I feel. Be truthful. Be truthful to yourself, so that you'll be able to seek for help. Tell them that this is how I feel. You know, I feel this way, and they're able to talk you through. Somebody that you know that can handle you and be able to talk to you. You know, they will help you basically. But make sure that instead of whiling your time feeding that, you channel your energy to do something else.
Yes.
So I remember secondary, I think after secondary school, before entering uni, everything, I know that then my mind was focused on, okay, how do I do this thing I want to do about my life and everything. Like, it wasn't. But I know that there's a point where you get your, you know, your of age. You're 27, 28, 29, no. That's when the pressure comes in.
And if your parents expect that you are married.
But that's when we said that, okay, maybe at that time you figured who you are, purpose, you're already in purpose, you are clear, you know you are ready, but you cannot find him. You pray through, get words from God. That's what you will run with. So when you're discouraged, you remember that God said that I'll give you a man. I don't know how God speaks to people differently. His words can come differently. He said that I will give you, you know, a helpmate. I will give you I'll give you a priest. And then when you're discouraged, you're like, God said he will give me a priest. I believe his
God's words never fail.
But if there's no word from God or anything, you feel so weak and everything. But when there is a word, you always remember and fall back to it. And when you understand that at his own time to work, you see, it will reduce that pressure.
Right.
And basically, and surround yourself with right friends. They will help you through that period.
So jealousy is actually something you should not get yourself into, because you might be in the midst of people. I mean, all your friends might be engaged already, and then you get to a point where they are not giving you so much attention as they used to. You know, you should also come to that realization of, okay, this person is now committed to a guy or a lady. I mean, you should not really expect that they give you all of the time again. You know, just, you know, the point you start thinking of,
reduce the expectation.
because exactly, reduce the expectation.
Yes, give them benefit of doubt.
Yeah. You know, the point you now start thinking of, oh, because she's not in a relationship, because it's not in a relationship, he feels or she feels she can just forget me like that, or you can just like, no, just use that period to give yourself value, like get value, like read books, just ensure that you keep your mind sane. I mean, jealousy is a bad thing. It comes as a very tiny thing, and then from there it grows, and then when you see your friend and the boyfriend just begin to hate on you, like
True.
like, it even puts so much pressure on you that if any guy comes your way, you just want to pepper them by going into a relationship as well. What are you doing? You're doing yourself.
Yeah.
So the pressure is normal. I mean, I like a pressure that you will see some people on Valentine's Day. You will be the only one in your house. No guy to wish you happy Valentine. Your parents, they even care about you. Yeah. Maybe if you come from all those romantic kind of family, their dad will say, hey baby girl, happy Valentine's Day. Your dad is nobody will send you anything. You know, you just in that season you don't have to get pressured. You don't have to feel bad that everybody is going out with their boyfriend. It's you only me, nobody give me flower. There is much more to life than
then secondary school. People get all those things plenty.
I didn't get one.
Well, me too. And it never, I don't know. That's why most times you have to prepare yourself. You need to like be able to see something. I just knew that these were distractions and this will not last, and I can't build my life on this. It was so clear. It was so clear. That's why most times I used to tell people, what do you see? Why are you so carried away? Do you understand? Valentine doesn't freak me, not because I don't enjoy it. When I see people like,
exactly, and it's sincere. I'm sure it's not that you are trying to
really
fake
sincere.
it or wind them down, and then it goes back.
No, sincere. It was really sincere from my heart. I'm like, this is beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy for you. But deep down, I said, no, it's not time. It's not time. And I prayed it through. I remember that my sister gave me prayer points to pray, to set my heart on the right path and to not be distracted. She tells me, and I pray, Esther, your heart is not distracted. You know what to do. You know what. I pray those things and it literally worked. I just found out that those things, scripture says that when sinners entice, you do not concept. Not just sinners, but when the enticement was getting too much, I didn't just give it in, because there was something that I was seeing. There was that, will I say wall? I'm trying to use the perfect word, that when it comes, it bounces back. There was something that was already there that could not penetrate into my heart. So I don't give it that thought. I don't give room for it to start imagining thoughts and everything. But I just knew that my own time I will enjoy it. My stars tell me that whatever you cheat to get now, you won't get the full beauty. You might not understand the full beauty when you have it in full. But when you wait till the right time, you will enjoy it fully. And all that. So the right time, you just wait for it, and it's worth it. It's going to be sincere. It's going to be worth it. Pressure will bring the worst out of you. Not all cases, but most cases.
And then sometimes pressure makes you lower your standards, which shouldn't be.
True. That's another one too. It makes you lower your standards. And it blinds you from seeing a lot of errors.
I tell you.
You might not, you won't be able to see things.
You won't see the right guy even when he comes. You just want to. Sometimes we are all different. God deals with us in different ways. You will see a 19-year-old lady who got into a relationship and is doing so well. Whereas you are 23, you are 24. And they are like, this girl, they gave birth to in my presence, and then she's in a relationship. So when you are so pressured, and they are like, this girl must not get married before me. Means I must post pictures. And they are like, a guy comes your way, and you know that this guy is not even up to that standard you've been coming with. When you are a teenager, the pressure is not. If you have a focus and a direction, and you are a teenager, the pressure is not so much on you until you are an adult, and you're like, my standards are too low. There are some standards that are not worth it. You saying he has to be taller. I don't want to say tall now. Some people are so obsessive with height and all of that. So some are not real. But if you say, okay, I want a godly man, I want a man who will be able to teach me with the word of God, those are not standards that you should break.
You should break.
Those are not standards that you should say because you are pressured. Maybe I'm just too. Let me just lose my guards and all of that. No, don't lower your pressure. Your standard because of pressure. It's not worth it.
It's not at all.
It's not. The perfect person will just come at the right time.
Yes, at the right time.
And it will just come as a shock, and you're like, wow, I'm glad I waited. So that's just it.
It's not that hard. It's not that. Sometimes when you come out of it and be like, really, this is what I've been killing myself.
I tell you.
Sincerely.
And it's not that even when you get to the relationship, you will not have issues. We have issues, but if you have not changed yourself before you got into the relationship, how would you be even able to enjoy that relationship that you've planned in your head? So your singleness, your single stage is a time of growth. Am I correct?
Yes.
Grow, learn,
understand yourself.
That's the old. See, the old thing we are saying since morning is all is dependent on you. If you don't understand yourself, you will fall for anything.
And if you don't know who you are, you fall for
anything at all. Even if a Yahoo guy comes to you and then he goes to church, he reads his Bible, he's just making his money.
Yeah. And if you don't know God's standard of the godly man too, you definitely settle for less.
Exactly.
So you must know God's standard for a godly man. That who is godly, who can you settle, who can you build life with. So when you now have a clear picture of the kind of man that God will have you, is able to write it out. Sometimes write it out. Let it be. That's why it has to be. It's not true. Be realistic with God's word. So when a person comes, sometimes God has given us the ability to also choose to, but in alignment, God can tell you, okay, this, and you can choose and God say, go ahead with this person, basically. But in all of it, understand yourself,
know God,
know
have a
God.
good relationship with God. I mean, that's so paramount.
Yeah.
If you have a good relationship with God, you shouldn't be worried, even if you are in your late 20s and then no guy is coming. You're not seeing that. It's not that guys are not asking you out, apparently, but then if you have a true relationship with God, convictions matter. I mean, they hold you so much that even if the world is throwing pure water at you, throwing everything at you, your parents, blah blah blah, your sister, blah blah blah, is married. I mean, there are some families that if the elder sister is not married, the younger one cannot get married. So because of that, because you want an elder sister, better don't do yourself anyhow. Because you want your younger sister to get married, a guy comes to you, it's your life. I mean, handle it with care. You can't just treat it anyhow.
True, very true.
So, I don't know, is there anything we should talk about again?
I think we should just round up on that note that the main thing we've established it. Know who you are, understand the path that God will have you to, and understand purpose.
Purpose is very key.
Understand purpose.
Very key.
Understand, learn about relationship. Give yourself to learning about relationship. Build emotional intelligence. And all these things. Then you can now know that it's time, and you just know within your heart that
You are ready. Yes.
You will know. You can't deceive yourself. You can't lie to yourself. When you know you are not, don't fall because somebody else is doing it. You don't know what they are doing there. You don't know the kind of relationship they run there. Be true to yourself. And let every man be like be true to yourself. Be true and let every other person be out of it. Be true to yourself. You know the truth. Nobody can lie to you like you would tell yourself. Like don't lie to yourself. Make sure that whatever you are doing, be sincere. Be sincere. And make sure that the things that they do in relationship, make sure that you are doing yourself. Go out, enjoy yourself.
Exactly. I actually wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a man in your life before you take care of yourself.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you go out. I mean, go out alone. You can just call your friends. Oh, ladies, how about we go to a particular place together? It doesn't have to be expensive.
Enjoy your life. Enjoy. Just you. It's not a boring life. Not make people feel bad. Because the reason why you go in people are pressured is because they feel they need a man to complete them. You need a man to make you feel good. You need a man to just be there to push you, to give you money and everything.
No.
You can first do it for yourself. If you're not able to even do those things to yourself, you will be a burden to that man. Whatever you cannot do for yourself, you become a burden to another person. You must be able to know that, okay, this thing that I want to do with this person, something that I can also do for myself. I can do myself, but I know that with this person I can do much more.
Yes.
So what the person. So when you say you want somebody, it's because when I have this person, I'm able to do more.
Yes.
More. That should be the goal.
So personally, you need to have something you are running with before another person can help you make that thing you are running with better. If you have nothing in your hands, there's nothing for anybody to come and help you with. To nourish or grow or anything. So I'll get something doing. Like, I don't mean like get something doing like be washing plate, but like when I mean get something doing, like have a mental picture, have a vision, like what is that thing I'm running with and all of that. And I would like to point this out too, because it's under pressure. So you don't have to have it all figured out before you feel like I'm ready to go into relationship. Because I've heard people say I need to have this particular amount in my account. It's good though, but it just depends on what God is saying. If God is telling you add this amount, don't say because other people you want to be independent. I'm not saying that you will depend on the guy or the guy will depend on you, but you not saying I must have 5 million naira in my account before I go into a relationship when God is not even telling you that. You are wasting your time. And then you feeling like you need to be super like spiritual. You need to have gotten to all the levels at the spiritual level before you can be in a relationship. No, that's why it's called a relationship. You build, you grow, is it can I use nourish as well? You build each other. You learn from the person teaches you, you teach the person as well, and then I mean, that's what is life. That's what is called life. That's what life is. So don't put pressure on yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself that I need to have an apartment. I mean, as a lady, even okay, as a guy, I don't know. I don't know if as a guy you need to have an apartment before you go into a relationship. It doesn't even make sense. It's not that. It's not that if you meet the lady today, you're getting married tomorrow. There's so much time. You can eventually, in the process, get to have your own apartment. So don't put unnecessary pressures and standards on yourself. If I've not, traveled out of Nigeria, I'm not going to go into a relationship. What if God is even saying that breakthrough is that relationship, in the sense that it is when you work with this person will give you ideas, this person will teach you what to do, and then you become that kind of person you want to be. What if it's that person's idea God wants to connect you with, and then but if you are saying I don't want to go into a relationship until I have these things, whereas that relationship is where you will get that thing. I mean, I've seen people that got discovered themselves more. Not that they hadn't discovered themselves, but they got to discover who they are truly and what they can do. But when they got into a relationship, that means that even in a relationship with the right person, because if you're not in the right relationship, well, you will just be there and all of that. So the summary is, don't put unnecessary pressures on yourself. It's not worth it. You don't have to have it all figured out, and you don't have to be 100% perfect before you think you're ready for a relationship.
Pressure can be transferred, and when it comes, it can destroy. Because when you pressure yourself too much, you might tend to transfer to the other person,
which is not healthy.
You just be doing unnecessary things, and you guys will not yield fruit, good fruit.
Exactly. So if you were once in a relationship and then the guy broke your heart, or the lady broke your heart, heal first before you jump into another relationship. Down to his pressure of me I must pepper him, or maybe the guy is already in the relationship, may not feel like to pay him back. You need to show him pepper by going into another relationship. Like, it's your life. I mean, so just be intentional about your life.
Pressure comes from unexpected
unmet expectations,
or expectations that are not real,
unrealistic expectations.
So you see people like, okay, I want you to do for this, and when those expectations are not met, the main thing is, I don't even try it, don't dive into it, don't involve.
So that'll be all for now. So in case you have contributions, you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section. We are sure and we know that you have been blessed by this video. And then if you are yet to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please subscribe, like and share. Thank you, Esther, for coming. God bless you. I love you so much.
Love you too. Thank you.
Bye. Say bye.
Bye. See you next time.
Right.